You're on mute, Andrea.
Yes, I'm on mute, correct. Good afternoon, everybody. For the 10th time this year, I'm saying with such a big pleasure, buonasera, ciao, bonjour, comment ça va? I hope everyone is feeling very nice this afternoon because we're going to have some fun. So the last session of J.D. Edward Talks this year will be a memorable one. And for that, I have to thank my colleagues, Mario and Salvador, here with me. You'll know them shortly. But by that time, I'm glad to introduce you to the topics that we're going to cover today. If you see something interesting, by the way, and you'd like to address questions, you'd like to keep this an active discussion, please do so. We have questions here, and we will make sure we reply them as we go ahead during this webinar, or we even tell them out loud if it's a super interesting question that everyone should be hearing about. My name is Andrea Istrate. I'm super proud to work for Quistor, to have such a team, to be part of such a J.D. Edwards expert team, and to discover with my colleagues how much we can actually do with this tool. So with no further ado, let's meet Salvador from Mexico. He has been around J.D. Edwards for 15 years, but if you look at his face, you wouldn't say that. So I don't know. Did you start in kindergarten playing with J.D. Edwards? Maybe, Salvador. I don't know. And even Mario originally from Colombia, but now living in Spain. And he has been around J.D. Edwards for 19 years. Wow. So a whole career with this product. So a lot of knowledge, a lot of baggage. I'm sure you'll have to hear a lot from my colleagues. Would like to say that in this meeting, in this live meeting, we have over 30 people right now, and I'm hoping to get some more. Yeah, and numbers are increasing as we speak. So let's see what the future of this meeting brings up. We're going to show you a boat. We're going to speak about Salvador's passion shortly, and how that is actually connected with J.D. Edwards and orchestrations. Furthermore, we're going to talk about some blueprints, I call them. So ready for you to use orchestrations that you can plug into your business to, let's say, implement within your processes, business processes, and make sure that these are exactly customized to what you want to automate. So we have like 30 examples. This is just like the mere beginning, but we can do so much more. And then Mario will show actually live 2 orchestrations. One used like every day, should be in every J.D. Edwards system, an exchange rate, an automated exchange rate. And the other one is actually quite interesting. Via a chatbot, we're gonna create a PO in J.D. Edwards. The very last, we are saving the best for last in this edition, trust me. We'll do an experiment, a live experiment, and I'm going to ask Salvador to be very careful of his surroundings, and you'll see why. But I don't want to, ruin any surprise for this experiment. I'll let Mario start first, and then Mario and Salvador start, and then we will go into a more adventurous exercise. So how did the story begin, Salvador? I saw this in Denver. We had a lot of attention in Denver around the stand, around the Quistor stand. Tell us about a little bit your idea on the boat.
Great. Thank you, Andrea, and thank you everyone to join this session. We have been working really hard and with a lot of passion to show and share all the possibilities that we can do with this. Well, the idea of this boat was to show in a different and creative way how we can use sensors integrated with J.D. Edwards and actually machine learning algorithms. As you know, history is not right, and we are writing history on these kind of things because nobody knows how to use machine learning algorithms at 100% because this is a thing that we need to be improving. We need to be very creative. We need to open the eyes to see, well, this sensor uh, this sensor can do a lot of things, but perhaps in 1 year we can have other sensors that will do a lot of things more different. So we need to be aware of all the things that are happening to take advantage of that and to use them to save. Well, the important thing that all the companies are pursuing to save money, to improve processes, and to save uh, to avoid errors. So that is the history of the boat. The objective it was to show all our guests how sensors can we use to do that and to invoke orchestrations in JD Edwards.
Can we
And
briefly
as you,
see it, Salvador? Do you
oh
have it
yeah,
around?
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Here, well, these are the sales. As you know, the sales are controlled by a linear regression algorithm. Here is the display. Well, you cannot see so well, but uh, this we have a Python program that simulates the direction of the wind and the speed of the wind. With with those with that data, we can calculate the correct angle of the sail, so the boat can improve the the boat can improve the direction and the speed, and we use that data to calculate the movement. The simulation occurs every second. Every second we have a data um, that we can use for that purpose. And well, the sales are moved now. It is they are not moving. We just want to show what we did. But
And what
here,
type of sensor, Salvador, are you
sorry,
considering?
we have here more sensors. For example, we have here a temperature sensor, a movement sensor. For example, talking about a real case in a company or in a work center, uh, we can use these sensors. For example, if a machine crashes or it moves, it can invoke notifications or orchestrations. We just need to activate or to read the data of the sensor using a Python program or using a server, a known server, and we can connect via API to JD Edwards. That is one of the things that Mario will show us. And well, we have more sensors here that are they're really cheap, but uh, they can we can use these sensors to show how we can um, do or talking about the real use cases, for example, the temperature sensor that we will show you later. And well, that's it. We had a lot of attention of in Denver because we inspire some people that when they see the boat, they started thinking about their problems or how they can use sensors or how they can, for example, automate electronic invoicing using also Orchestrator and we can use the sensors and then we can do it. You just want to think out of the box and to have all the possibilities. I was really amazed of uh, that
This
day.
looks very great, and I see your passion. I see your passion, Salvador, and I know for sure you're not stopping here. So if we saw the boat in Denver, I'm sure that at the next conference, you are preparing something much bigger. I don't want to spoil it. I've seen some work you've done, but I'm really, really excited to see how that will happen. how this next
Yeah,
project will be developed. Until
yeah,
then,
we cannot say anything about it, but it will be a great surprise for all our guests. Yeah.
indeed, indeed. But until then, getting our feedback on the ground, so no more, waves. Let's look a little bit in JD Edwards and the power of this great tool of orchestrations. Tell me a little bit from your experience. I know that you have built multiple orchestrations together with Mario. We have them like in a catalog. But what is like some of examples that most customers solicit, most customer ask of us lately?
Mm. Now, well, here in Latin America and in Europe, in some countries in Europe, companies are using Orchestrator to automate the electronic invoicing process. And we are working with Pajero, our partner, to do that. We create the interface in Orchestrator, and we connect to Pajero to do that. That is one of the things that we are doing with orchestrations in Latin America. We have some projects. Actually, a company that saw our presentation in Denver, we are talking to close a deal that is electronic invoicing in Mexico and in Europe. So what I have seen in the customers is like they are using this for integrate easier to have better processes. And I've been working with Mario to develop this solution because as our guests that are watching, uh, some of them that have been working with these kind of interfaces, there are a lot of hours spent sometimes in development. So what Mario and some people in the company are thinking is, how can we create something that can be implemented easier, uh, quicker, wiser, and that we can maintain easier also. So Mario and me talked during hours. Sometimes he needs to be sleeping at what when we are talking. But it is a great. Those meetings are great because they have a lot of technical knowledge. I've been working for about 15 years in not specifically JD Edwards IT, but 10 years in JD Edwards in the functional side. So when we talk about the possibilities or the problems that companies are facing, their functional problems, and I talk with Mario and he say, "Oh, we can do it this with orchestration." And those meetings, I wanted to to record it because suddenly we say, "Oh, you know what? We have a product. We can implement this in with a current customer," because we started seeing that the time that we would spend and the maintenance of that solution, it would be easier than the old ones. So we are really happy working together and thinking out of the box to give to our customers better ideas, better products for solve the current challenge that they're having. And well, also orchestrations are being used to create workflow rules. Uh, that is also great because well, the people that have been working with JD Edwards, sometimes workshops are tricky. And with orchestrations, we have a lot of possibilities because we can actually create workflows for WhatsApp, for we can send messages, SMS, we can activate a voice chatbot and transform a lot of things because we have now a lot of services. That is what we want to inspire, or we want, that is what that is why we are studying a lot or seeing what are the new things that we can use to create those products. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is very interesting to see. And the main thing about this is that you don't need a license. So this product is available within JD Edwards. Of course, for workflows, you need to upgrade to a later version. And if you want new capabilities with OCI, smoother integration, that again, it has to be on a latest version of the tools. But these are possible. So if we're speaking about automated compliance reporting, supplier performance tracking, purchase order approvals, you'll see them shortly. Invoice processing, we just mentioned Pajero, and some of our customers connected to this webinar are Pajero customers. So we may deep dive into that connection. Predictive maintenance automation. This is something I really like because a lot of JD Edwards customers have manufacturing equipment, have warehouse, need those kind of sensors, let's say, mapped to their business model that respond neatly into JD Edwards. So really, really interesting to hear about all of this. But let's see something in action, right?
Yeah.
Mario, what can you show us today?
Hey, thank you, Salvador and Andrea, and hello to everyone joining us today. We have 3 exciting examples to share today. Let's start with a task many of you all too well: updating currency exchange rate. Can you believe some companies still do this by hand?
No, that I cannot believe that. Really, Mario. I mean, for me, it's a little bit. It's like what driving something
It's
carrying.
like using a typewriter in the
Yeah.
age of smartphones, really. But don't worry, we have a solution that automates the whole process. Let me show you how we did this with Orchestrator. All right, I share my screen and go to action. You see my screen, Fears?
Right now, yes. So by all chance, you get slides. We will explain this also into the presentation that we'll deliver after the session. But if you want to ask Mario something, feel free to use the question tab, the chat tab, whatever you feel more comfortable. And we'll tell you what we're speaking about in detail.
Of course. First, the orchestrator connects to an API to get the latest exchange rates for all currency against the euro. Then, the API returns the rates, which we organize into a list or array. Each item shows the from currency, the to currency, and the exchange rate. Later, the orchestrator iterates each exchange rate into JD application, and the currencies recorded pairs one by one. All right. After that, after loading the rates, the orchestrator runs the report R00151P to make sure everything was updated correctly. Finally, it sent us a message with an embed table option available on release 25, by the way, of all process pairs and the report attached. Here is the mails that I get in with this orchestrator. The currency, this is the currency conversion for today. This is the table that I say to you is almost 150, is almost 155 currency, and the last one is the currency conversion of lot is the report that I say to you is this one. In this report, we can show the rate that absolute of lot into JD. This is 98. Is that I already have in the JD. The best part is this process runs automatically every day using the orchestrator scheduler here, and every
Would you
day.
be able to zoom in when you show, Mario? Because
Of course.
some Okay, perfect.
Here
Much
more
better now.
more readable.
No,
All
it's
right.
fine.
All right. Then here. Then at the end, every day we receive an email informing us that the process completed. And that's it. Simple as that. We have the conversion rates up to date daily. No more manual work, no more error, and no need for external tools. It's really great. You only
But
need
what
to.
if I have an idea? So you're connecting this to, you're taking the data, right, outside of
Of course.
GD AdWords from a web portal. What if that web portal breaks down? I don't know. Something happens.
If something happens, we don't you don't get the email. Then you need to check what happened, because the email gets every day at the same hour, 9 a.m., 9 a.m., 9 a.m. Then if something is bad or something happened, you need to check the information, and maybe that day you need to upload manually, but is a process that works automatically very, very, very great. Does have another question?
Yeah, we do have a question, and I raise it now openly to you. And if we are able to answer it live, fine. If not, we'll move it out and respond. So Matt is asking, the biggest obstacle to being agile with Orchestrator is their requirement to go via an integration layer like MuleSoft to ensure that their AIS isn't sitting on the web. This builds massive amounts of technical doubt, duplication, and what is the best practice for this?
Because excuse me, I read it for me now. The ensure that it's sitting on web.
If you want, we can you can say
All
it in
right.
Spanish, la respuesta, and I'm going to translate it. It's my pleasure, no problem. That's why we're live. We're trying to make this extremely interactive.
All right. You say that you have a bigger information to get into Orchestrator, I guess. Builds maximum amounts of technical depth, duplication, best practice.
I guess that is related with all the AIS problems that we have had, because we know that it's not easy, and there are not a lot of people. We need to be honest. There are not a lot of people that are 100% of the AIS setup, and we cannot understand all the challenge that the Matthew is having, but we are working really hard to not have those problems with AIS servers, because we have had. We know that we have some. How long we were working on that, Barry? Do you remember when we tried to automate the orchestrator and we have some problems with the AIS server? And this is one of the things that I guess someone is dealing with, because we need to be very in touch with the CNC people to make this happening. And there are some challenges that we face on this, because as IT company, sometimes we work with partners, sometimes we work with other companies, sometimes we implement the project and the customer already has a CNC team, and we need to make that that teamwork to happen. But if Matthew, if you could be more specific in your question, we can think about it, and when we have
Don't
a
worry, I'll
better
connect you to Matt.
understanding, we
Well,
can.
I know the more details about that, and I'll connect you to Matt, and we'll drive that question into
That's right.
specifics in order to see how exactly can best practices be leveraged on what we've learned from this exercise.
Great. And thank you, Matthew, for the question.
yeah. First challenge raised, and I hope others to come. Let's see now. So we've seen how to exchange automatically the rate. Let's place an order.
All
Can
right.
you help me?
All right. Now, for the second example, let's look at something even more exciting. Creating purchase order using artificial intelligence and natural language. Imagine this. Instead of using menus and click through the screens, you can simply type or say what you need. That exactly we have achieved using Orchestrator and Copilot, a language model powered by AI. First, we start by giving a Copilot a simple prompt explaining what to do, upload a file with all products, details, brand location, and approved suppliers. Then we talk with Copilot using natural language. Let's see the demonstration. I share my screen again. And now you see, this is the information that I need to Copilot to run the process. And later of that, I chat with him. I need a purchase. I don't hear this. Here.
Can you zoom in a little bit wider,
Of
Mario,
course.
please? Okay. So I see you're starting to type. My question is Copilot. I know, widely used, but why for this exercise?
Copilot is very great because almost every companies have the Microsoft 3075, and that is included in that. And Copilot maintains the information secure. They don't use the information that you writing here to train the intelligence artificial. That is great for the company, really.
Okay, but can we use another chatbot if the audience has?
Of course, anyone. You can do the same thing in almost anyone because it's only an instruction. It's a brief instruction that I need to do, and they understand, and everything is in natural language. From there, you can use ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever.
Or the Oracle. Okay,
Or the
let's see.
Oracle too.
Yeah,
Of
let's
course.
see. Ask the.
Of course. We say this. Can you create a purchase order for 10 mountain bikes? Then I send it, and then read in the file, and they answer me. To create the purchase order, I need the following additional details: supplier, branch, and please provide your details so I can proceed with create order. Okay, show me the different bikes on branch 30. Here are the bikes available on branch 30. Okay, then I need, let's say 20 mountain, 30 touring, and 15 Jute. And give me the suppliers. Here are the suppliers available. And we have a list of the suppliers. Okay. Here I chose this one, Parts Emporium. All right. Choose parts. As you see, I make a books in my script, in my writing. Right, let's proceed with Parts Emporium. All right. Let's grade, proceed with Parts Emporium supply, prove the branch. Branch 30. and that's it. Here is the purchase order based on the details. Here we can see the supplier, the branch, the product, description, and the quantity that I have. I say yes, the information is correct, and I get the JSON. In this case, I get the JSON manually, but if you see here, the supplier and the item numbers, we have the codes, but I chat with the chatbot in natural language, really. I can copy this and go to Orchestrator. Here we are here in the purchase order. And
so
on the
you're
page,
opening a new orchestration. So you opened a new orchestration created for this step.
Exactly. This is the orchestration created before, and we only paste, and that's it.
There's a nice question now. So before you get into the JD Edwards and how you have done it, Ruben is asking how difficult it is to make the connections with AI chat between JD Edwards and the AI chat. What are some basic requirements?
In the market is so many APIs to do that, and we can create another one to us already. It's very simple. Every one of the chatbots have an API to consume, to send the message, and to get the information that it asks to us or share to us.
Okay.
And that is an easy way. In this example, we don't show that because we need some more time to do that, but we can do it easily, really.
So
Yeah,
another
I wanted
comment. Yes,
to
Salvador.
share something here because it can be really easy or really complex. It depends on the requirement, and we suggest that we started with that. With if our customers of some of our guests are thinking now, oh, we have this problem, how can we use Orchestrator to fix it? But which is a specific requirement? Because if we want to have an AI chat just to get some information, it can be really easy because it is just some SQL statements that can be integrated and automated by orchestration. But if the requirement is more complex, that we need to make a question, but then it needs to integrate to other system to get some data, and that data will be sent to a guy that will approve that order. If that is the requirement, I will say, Ruben, that it is not so easy. It is really possible, and we love to solve those kind of things, but it depends on the requirement. If you are facing some of the people that are watching us, if you are facing a specific requirement that you want us to start imagining or start working on it, we will. It would be great for us to start with that requirement, and that is what just my point.
Indeed. So, but going back to this case, the Copilot created for you the JSON code, Mario?
Yes, Copilot created the JSON code, really, and I can set the JSON automatically through an API and do this that I do by hand. I can do it automatically, and there is the order that I will create it. All right, here's the order, and in the orchestrator we run the report, the report to print that order, and later of that I attach into the header attachment, and here we got. we can see this is the order. This is a purchase order really, and we're able to download and share with the customer, with the supplier. Excuse me, with the supplier. Is easy of that. We can do that with Orchestrator, and we can and we do everything else. Imagine how this functionality can help your business. The process becomes faster and easier. You can automate repetitive tasks, reduce errors, and free up your team to focus on more important work.
But
This means,
to go back a little bit to
of
the
course,
security and JSON, because right now
of
you
course.
are using an open tool. And that's why maybe we'll refer back and try to use something else, but the data security. So we are sending data outside.
Of course, the security is something I need to concern really, because the chatbots, the commercial chatbots, give the information to train himself really. Then we need to ensure that security, but is there in the different chatbots in Oracle, for example, we have a personal manage of the security. You can share that share the authentication and everything else that you need, and that chatbot doesn't share the information and doesn't get the information for himself. That we need to consider that, because that is very dangerous.
And I understand is that not only share the information outside JD Edwards, but also show pertinent information based on the role that the person has to request those 10 mountain bikes and create an order. For example, there isn't like an accountant doing this, because they don't have the role, the privileges, right? So we refer back and forth to the security inside the company and outside the company. Yeah, so more questions. Alfredo is asking. In the last step, you could configure Copilot to call the JD Orchestrator and automate the process, correct? Instead of creating the input JSON.
Yes, we can do that, but we need to do that by API. We can do that in this presentation. Really, you need an API to in order to do that.
Okay, so it's possible. The art
It's
of possible.
possible.
We
Yes.
are just we are just using this to inspire that it's not just about the natural language search models that we have shown you lately in demos. Quistor is doing that very nicely. But nowadays we're trying more and more to interact with the application at the application layer, and to pull in the art of possible from what the users would like to have into what JD Edwards can offer.
Of course.
Great.
And we can even build a chatbot inside JD to simplify these tasks and many others. We can do that with Kefri ones, for example.
That's even nicer to hear, because
yes,
building the chatbot inside of JD Edwards will streamline actually the security issues.
Of course.
Yeah. So I like this, and I'm sure that by the end of the meeting we'll have more questions. Anything else? Maybe you'd like to show the orchestration steps in JD?
Of course, I can do that. The orchestrator step for the purchase order is very easy, really. Here we have the purchase order creator. Mm-hmm. Later of that, you print the report print R43500, and I can attach this into the header of the order. All right, this is a very easy 3 steps. But here is you needed some tools to in order to do here. I guess that is 9.2.6 and above. And you can.
You mean in terms of the tools release version? You need to be on a certain tools release version to be able to. And okay.
To be able to use this attachment module that have in Orchestrator. and that's it. You have the purchase order created, and you have the message received here.
Okay, I know that we need to go to the last part of this session, which is the most interesting one. I'll promise you all. But one more interesting question: what about ChatGPT? Cafe One. Can you do this? Can you use ChatGPT with Cafe One?
Yes, we can do that, but it's need to pay really, because ChatGPT you need to in order to get an API and maintain the information and the data for you, you need to pay. But you can do that through the APIs, where I say you can develop an interface to do that, and later of that connect via API with ChatGPT, and you got it.
That's great. Once we explore these more options, I know that the next one of the sessions next year, because I hope we will have a lot of audience, and JD Edwards Talks will have a nice road in 2025 as well. One of the session may be around security, because I just want to give you a personal example. My daughter had a very important test yesterday at maths, and there were two great marks, two great scores. She got one. I'm a happy mother. What can I say? But the other one was a lady who didn't have like a clue about what was actually happening during the classes, and she used ChatGPT during the session. So look how crazy it works in this. Teenagers use it like everywhere, much more than we do. Now what we need to find out is which are the methods, the correct ones, to actually use this tool, use the chatbot into our current business life, and also take care about the security, because our business cannot be placed into outside world. It only needs to stay in secure standards. Great. Okay. Thank you very much, Mario. I like what you've showed us today, and I'm sure that 2025 will be an absolute inspiration. This is only the start, and to continue another great experiment Salvador would like to tell us of. It's something we were not able to do in Denver. He told us there, but because of the intense security reasons, we were not actually able to do that in Denver. So I'm looking forward to actually see it live now.
Thank you, Andrea. Well, this is some special things for the final part. As I told you before in the beginning, we have some sensors in the boat. In this case, we will use the temperature sensor. That is, I will show you after I explain this. But what we want to do is to increase the temperature of the boat, so the sensor can get that. And when the temperature goes after 60 grades, we will invoke something. And Mario will show that.
It's 50 degrees, really.
Oh, sorry, 50. Mario will show what will happen, and I will do the firing thing, the dangerous part. I hope I cannot warn this room.
We see the boat, we see the sails. So yeah. Where are the sensors?
Here is the sensor. It's a temperature sensor. Well, we have some sensors there, some movement sensors, and also we can set up that sensor. For example, if the boat is moving, and thinking in a real case, if a machine has some movement, of if we detect an abnormal lecture of oxygen or any kind of gas, any kind of lecture. Imagine there are thousands of sensors that are being used in any kind of industry. So we can think in the requirements and we can imagine what we can do with all of these sensors. And well, are you ready, Mario?
Of
You just
course,
need to.
hit it.
Okay.
Oh, what?
Did it increase?
Oh, here, I share my screen with you.
Did it
So
activate?
actually put the
Because
boat on
Yes.
fire.
Are you fine?
Oh my God.
Here we got the warnings about the temperature is rising. You can
Not
see.
just the temperature, he actually destroyed a little part of the boat. Hey, did you get
Yes.
that notification as well?
Yes.
we need to repair.
We got the notification, really. That is why, how it worked. Every 3 seconds, the notification check the temperature of the boat. If the temperature exceeds 50 degrees, a warning message is sent the recorded temperature. Another, the message includes a link to generate maintenance order here. You see, now the temperature is 59 degrees. It's necessary to replace the part. And the message includes a link to generate a maintenance order to inspect the potential damage here. And there is another link to create a purchase order for a new part, for a new spare part that we can use here. And easy like that. You click here, and we create a maintenance order. And if I click here, I create a purchase order as well. And
so Mario, going back, so those links are actually triggering orchestrations, right? Behind something you built in expectance of.
Yeah, we made a notification, really. I can show you this here.
Take us slow. So notifications, okay.
Yes. In the notifications, we have a notification with an orchestrator. That orchestrator checks the temperature with a connector. Then when the connector gives us 50 degrees or more of that, we see the notification, the actual notification on JD here.
Okay.
The studio is giving us troubles.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah. It's live, so.
Yes, the check temperature here. We got the orchestrator to get the temperature. Then the rule validates the temperature notification. We can put here 50 degrees or 60 or whatever we need, really. This is configurable. And later on that, on the message, we include this table with these links. These links is a purchase order part, is an orchestrator, and create a maintain order is another orchestrator. We can run that orchestrator automatically through these links, and that's it. We can manage the notification. It's a smart notification, really, to get the warning that we needed to in order to that in order to say to people, hey, we need something. Imagine a pharmaceutical company that needs to keep vaccines at a specific temperature to maintain their effectiveness. Using this notification system, the company can automatically monitor the temperature of its cold storage units. If the temperature rises above 50 degrees Celsius, the system sends an alert and provides links to quickly create a maintenance order, to check the cooling system, and purchase order to replace any useless part. This ensures that the vaccines remain effective and the cold chain is maintained. It's another example to to implement
And there are
this.
so much more, Mario. I just a lot of examples come through the businesses that our customers have ongoing. So I'm sure that we would be able to see this running into other customers, just like it ran into this example, but in a cautious way. We don't want to steer anyways. We just wanted to show you the art of possible. We have a challenge, so we know we discussed about this. One of the things we'd like to do is a PO approval. So how do we put this into an AI? What we use to make it more automated, to automate it? But before going into all of that, so everyone still remained on the call, and I'm very glad for that. I would like to thank my two colleagues and to tell you that Mario, we'll meet again with Mario in January, because we want to start strong the year. And I know many of you are experiencing issues with testing. So when considering especially a tools release, even an application release, how do I manage the testing? How do I emburden my key users go into this dreadful process every time we have to do this? And that's why they are delaying it. Instead of keeping it current, trying to do it at least once per year with adequate updates that Oracle is sending out every four times a year, actually. So we are preparing orchestration. So we are trying to mesmerize you next year with some automated testing orchestrations. And we are using assertions framework for this. Mark Hervege and Mario. So Mark Hervege from Oracle, our solution engineer, and Mario here will show you what you can do from that perspective. It's opening again a Pandora's box that can go into a huge business improvements on your end, and try to keep it as current as possible with JD Edwards. So the art of possible is much closer than you have imagined. And I would like to see this happening next year in this community, in this JD Edwards strong community that has grown from an idea here in Europe to worldwide now. So muchas gracias, Mexico. From India, from Dubai, I see people, United States, and all the European countries.
The next session will be great because we showed some examples, some very interesting examples to do it, and I guess you enjoyed so much that section. Then I hope you enjoyed this. See you, and thanks to stay here.
Any questions that have come after we have finalize this conversation, we will make sure that we respond them. And I'm hoping to see you again safe and sound in 2025. Enjoy the holidays, and let's do magic with JD Edwards. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you everyone for joining, and we are aware of the requirements that you can have. We have passion on doing this. So if you start with an idea, we can talk about hours how we can improve it using the things that we have available, and we are sure that you will see what we are doing is really helpful for our customers. We're doing really great, and we are happy for that. Thank you for joining us.